Oh, battery. Oh no. Oh, it's not plugged in. Oh, this charger's not plugged in. Let's see if it's gonna reach. This isn't plugged in either. Okay. Is it charging now? Not yet. I'm having some difficulties here. Have it upside down. There we go. And I believe my battery charging system. Try this. Okay, it's charging. Okay, it's still charging. Having some battery issues here. Okay. And this one. Let's see if this one can get going. I don't know if this one is working today. There we go. Okay. Well, Uja, do it for tuning in for this session of Cosmic Chimes and Chanting for the new moon. We're working with the sidereal astrology system where we have the new moon in sidereal Aquarius. The sun and the moon are in sidereal Aquarius. Okay. So I practice the 13-month Kemetic sidereal astrology system, which I call horoscopes, which is based on the true motion of the sun and the planets across the constellations. And for my ephemeris, I use the NASA JPL website. The Western astrology system is based on the actual motion of the Earth around the sun. It's not based on how the planets actually move through the constellations. Okay, I'm just going to let that go. All right. So today we're going to be honoring the new moon in sidereal Aquarius. And we start off with our wonderful singing bowl, which is tuned to the Om Earth Root Chakra. And when we're opening up, we go counterclockwise. So some things that we're told to do, advised to do at the new moon is write out our intentions. And usually at the new moon, I have a list of like 10 intentions that I'm focusing on manifesting. And, I get a pretty good average. Not, I'm happy with my manifestations. My major one, though, is taking a lot longer than I would like. And so I've decided for this new moon cycle, instead of having a list of intentions, I'm just going to have one. Just one focus, one intention. And that's for myself. And then, of course, there's the global aspect. And with the sun and the moon being in sidereal Aquarius, with what's going on in the world today, it signifies to me that this is a time to write out our intentions, of course, because the new moon is the time for that. And then the sun, Ra, represents creativity. Here's the tone for Aquarius over here. So, of course, the global prayer is to, bring enlightenment and awakening to the planet, planetary healing, to wake up and know that we're one, that we're all one family, one human family. There's only one race, the human race. And we need to find a way to stop bickering and fighting and killing each other. It's just ridiculous. So that's the global intention. And then for my personal intention, I have that apartment building that I'm intending to have rehabbed, renovated. And so I'm putting all my energies in that direction for this month. And then in my business, Aquarius is also about, reaching out to humanity, sharing the teachings, pouring out the teachings, pouring out the water, wisdom. And so I would like to put out my personal business intentions just to be more effective in reaching people. I have not sent an email since way before COVID, because I've been on social media so much. And I really like to nurture relationships with people that I already know. So I have 3 intentions, even though I said I was only going to have one. My main focus is the apartment building. And my business focus is reaching more people with more efficiency, better communications. And then globally, that whatever we're doing in some way helps bring about a transformation. If I saw the one about Pluto return, then we're in the perfect time for that. And so we just need to keep up with our meditations and affirmations and not get caught up in the craziness. All right, so the new moon is officially new at 11:34. So I'm going to start really soon. Let me introduce the tones. I have the tone Anpu, opener of the way, to remove obstacles to our success. Peru, or Uranus, the rebel. Man, what's this? The rebel, the revolution, the transformation, the spiritual victory of the soul. Oops. Redemption of the soul. Reflection of Ra in time and space. We have Shasheta, the cosmic scribe. We're writing out our intentions for unity. Unity and oneness and success, abundance, freedom, sovereignty. That's what we're putting out for the global prayer. And then of course Ra, creativity. We're going to use our creativity and our writing to help bring about this great awakening. And then also in the sign of sidereal Aquarius, we have Neptune and Jupiter. So Neptune represents Nebenhet, the goddess of our mortality, our physicality. She's the lady of the house. And also represents releasing our emotions in a healthy way, a safe way. And then Jupiter, of course, signifies expansion of consciousness, awareness, abundance, wisdom, and the witnessing consciousness. So let's begin our new moon transmission. Oh, and then also I have the tone for Juno, which represents partnerships, relationships, business relationships, nation to nation relationships. And then for accent, I also have the system, which we play to eliminate chaos. So TikTok, I know you can't see me very well. The camera keeps sliding, but you have a good view of the new moon and the sun. So that's good. when I write the best. My mind is filled with what I want. I project my intentions on reality. I keep my mind clean and pure, free from the chaos of illusion. Look I manifest my creation of enlightened nation. I manifest what is in my heart. I stop thinking, stop judging, stop doubting. I manifest my creations with my writings and my thoughts, which lead to liberty. I plant seeds of sovereignty. Freedom of mind, freedom from negativity, freedom from slavery. Golden spiritual victory. Do on evidence. Do on move. Expansion of consciousness of our physicality, awakening to our divinity. To us a shelter, the moon. To our the source of creation, the sun. To all Heru Kuaku Sidereal Aquarius, manifesting our liberty with our wisdom intention, invoked by the Netaloo, aligned with the cosmic forces of nature align with the of this Aquarius new moon. The shadow projecting our intention, manifest our creation, purify our intention, align with our vision, feeling the vibration of manifestation, feeling the vibration of creation. Spiritual victory over physical limitation, over corrupt nation, projecting our intention, establishing our vision, radiating freedom and liberty, radiating awareness and organization, radiating joyous creation. Right. So the objective of these cosmic chimes and chanting sessions is to align with the netters as they are aligned in the cosmos, the cosmic arrangement that they are in right now. And at Horoscopes, we don't use this system to like predict the future or tell us if we should cross the street. We don't see retrogrades as negative things. The objective of horoscopes is to align with the netters. For example, if you got your chart, you would align with the netters that are as they are arranged in your chart. So for today, we have the new moon inside your Aquarius, and we have the sun inside your Aquarius. We have Neptune and Jupiter inside your Aquarius. This is different from the Western system. And I have several videos about the 13-month sidereal system, so just check them out. In a nutshell, the Western system that we're familiar with does not take into account the precession of the equinox, which causes time to move forward one day every 70 years. So all the signs are off by about a month. Also, there's a 13th constellation along the ecliptic called Ophiuchus. And Ophiuchus represents natural healing or awareness of natural healing. It represents a great healer. Chiron represents the wounded healer. The life of Ophiuchus, the constellation of Ophiuchus, is actually modeled after the life of an actual human whose name is or was Imhotep, who was a great physician, architect, engineer. And so the Western system does not take this into account. So here at Horoscopes, we honor all 13 constellations along the ecliptic. And at this time, we are honoring the new moon and the sun in sidereal Aquarius. I've added this tone on Pu, who is the brother of Anu and the Egyptian Aeneid, to open the way. And I've started adding that more consistently to make sure that the way is always open. So what I did just a few minutes ago was I played the chimes that are associated with the planets, and then I chanted the names and attributes of the netters that are associated with these chimes, and then put them together. You know what is it when it's the new moon inside your Aquarius? Well, that's a time when our writing and our intentions would be about helping the planet, helping our brother. Because Aquarius represents universal love, harmony, universal family. And Haru represents the spiritual aspiration of the soul. So that's the time when we really dig deep as to what we truly want. And that's when I made the declaration at the beginning that for my, my personal intentions, I usually have a list of like 10, and I recite them throughout the day, and I write them out. And, I get some of most of the smaller ones. And this time I'm going to focus on this one huge goal that I've had for many years. And it keeps getting swept under the rug because more, things with deadlines take over. So for this month, I'm going to be focusing on one thing in my intentions for my personal. Oh, Pooja. I love all. Thank you so much for being here. I love you. So I'm going to focus on one thing for my personal intentions, and that is the rehab of my inheritance. I inherited 12 years ago. I'm still sitting with it. Needs a lot of work. So that's going to be my main personal intention. For the global intention, Well, because why is that have to do with brotherly love and humanity? Is because my vision for the building is the Light Being Wellness Center, and it will be a shining light on the block right where the building is, which is right in the hood in Chatham. It's like it's the ghetto. It's straight up the hood. So the vision for that building would include like the whole community garden, solar power, the wellness center, yoga class, Egyptian spirituality, cooking class, music studio. Then we'd have one of the apartments would be for growing food and herbs, like indoor growing. And then I'd have a rooftop garden on the garage. And then in the neighborhood, buy some of the vacant lots and make those community gardens. So right now I'm sharing you my intention, my vision, which I'm going to keep it to the building. One, focus for the rest of the month. And then on the equinox, March 20th, the spring equinox, March 21st. I'm going to start the 40-day prosperity plan from openyourmoneyflow.com. The prosperity plan was written by John Randolph Price, and I built a website so that people could find the plan. So I'm really going to pump up my abundance and prosperity and my intentions this month, and that's what kicking off right now. Then the sun is in Sidereal Aquarius, so you want to focus your creative efforts, all of your music, your writing, your poetry, whatever your creativity is. You want to focus it on the area of uplifting one another, networking, sharing wisdom, teachings, helping one another, loving one another. And then, achieving our spiritual aspiration, our spiritual victory of enlightenment for the planet. And we're going to do that by not focusing on everything that's messed up. We're going to focus on how we want things to be. That's the main purpose of this transmission, is that, while we're playing the chimes, you focus on what you want to manifest. Stop thinking. Like, I even drew a diagram. And this diagram I drew in my meditation. It has I talk about it a lot, how the brain is divided into two, right? And, I've been torn between the property and the Light Being Wellness Center, and like going back and forth and all these things that I want to manifest. And so I'm just going to drop into my heart and focus on my feeling, not my thoughts. And my feelings are about bringing forth the Asmachisi Temple of Divine Light, Healing, and Sweet Sounds, and being able to do all this work, becoming tax exempt. That's our sovereignty, our freedom. Uranus and Haru is a rebel. It goes its own way. It doesn't follow the mainstream. It goes, Uranus orbits perpendicular to all the other planets. So, like all the other planets are orbiting around the sun in this direction, and Uranus is going like this. So I just had to stop trying to decide which, what am I going to focus on, and just drop into my heart. And that's the, the temple, the Light Being Wellness Center, and the Ellis Avenue building. Just kind of focus. So that's what this is about. I hope this resonates with you or brings you some guidance. And I'm going to do another session. Let's see what time we got here. Okay, a little water. And this time I'm going to focus. I didn't add this one. Do that one later. I'm going to be focusing on the new moon in Sidereal Aquarius. I include the sun and the other planets because they're all in the sign of Sidereal Aquarius. And this one is just going to be the new moon Aquarius. Hi, I'm deaf sign language. I am very sorry about that. I don't have sign language capability for sound healing. I've never thought about it. I did know someone who was deaf and he could hear the vibrations of the music. So I'm hoping that you'll be able to feel the vibrations. You are such a Gotta go a little louder. I'm still really shy. You are such a You are such a I am the cosmic sprite, master of astronomy, astrology, sacred geometry, architecture and engineering, record keeping and filing, stop thinking and trust what's in your heart. Write out your intentions at the new moon. Plant your seeds of intention in the garden of life. I am spiritual aspiration. I lead you to creation as you plan to lower vibration. Freedom for humanity. Write out your declaration of sovereignty. Write out your intention of independent nation. All right. So for those of you that are still on this transmission, what are some of your plans or intentions for the new moon? What is one thing you're going to focus on for the rest of this month, and see where we are by the full moon, and then where we are by the next new moon? Anybody wants to type in their main intention for this new moon, what you want to manifest, or something you want to eliminate, to let go of, to release? I've been doing a cleanse. I do a cleanse for 3 days before the new moon. So I started on Monday morning, and I'm probably going to stop after this transmission because the new moon was new at 11:34. So does anyone have anything they're going to be focusing on, they want to share? Another thing we can do is write out an abundance check. You can get a checkbook, and that's what I'm going to do. I haven't done that yet. And write out the amount of money you want to manifest, and you sign, you make it out to yourself, and then you sign it, the universe, or universal abundance, or universal consciousness. And so that's what I'm going to do after this. And then, of course, you put your crystals out for the new moon. We're talking about our intentions. You start a new project. I have a friend that started he's starting the master cleanse for the new moon. I do my master cleanse at the summer solstice, but you could start today. You could just do a week. You don't have to do 14 days. You could just do a week cleanse. You could write your intentions out every day for 10 days. You could visit the Open Your Money Flow. Let me type that in the Open Your Money Flow. Open Your Money Flow.com website. And you could start that plan right now. It's the new moon. You don't have to start on day one. I like to start on one because it helps me keep track of which principle it is. The 40-day prosperity plan. Hey, how do you feel about African influence in Asia? Ooh, that's a really good question. Well, what I feel about the African influences in Asia is that the first Asian people were from Africa. That Africa, India, and China, Japan, I've read that they were originally colonies of Ethiopia, just like Egypt, just like Kemet was once a colony of Ethiopia. And when Asar traveled around the world, according to our myths and legends, he traveled to those places: Japan, India, China, traveled all over Asia. And there's proof of this because there's certain plants that he is recorded that he planted that are only found in Kemet. They're not found naturally in Asia. The Ainu people of Japan, the first nation or the first people of Japan, were Black. In China, the Qing Dynasty, Lao Tzu, the Confucius, so many of the very old Chinese elders, ancestors, teachers are attributed to being Black African. You can see in the artwork from India, like all the statues where they have the, they look like they have curly hair, but if you look closely, they look like locks, and they have them wrapped up in a bun on top of their head. A lot of the culture from India, like yoga and meditation, the postures, the chants, the dieting, the vegan diet, the fasting, the breathing exercises, you can actually find indications of those traditions in the Kemetic teachings and the pyramid texts and the inscribed on the temple walls. You can find evidence of the African presence in Asia. Chinese medicine is actually attributed to Africans. Astrology. There's so many things. So that's what I feel about the African presence in Asia. One of my favorite books is The Wonderful Ethiopians of the Ancient Kushite Empire by Drusilla Dungy Houston. And that's where I really first learned about the, the impact of Ethiopia on Africa and the rest of the world. And then I also, We the Black Jews talks about the indigenous Black Hebrews. And I think it's either Ivan Van Sertima. I don't remember the name. My focus is mostly Kemet, and I hope to do more research on India, but mostly I'm Kemet in Central South America. But I know there's a book, The African Presence in Asia, and it's either Van Sertima or you might know whose name I'm trying to remember. Yeah, they say Buddha was Black. Yeah, the original Buddhism. Yeah, I agree with that too. I was in a Buddhist organization for 20 years, and I finally left because there was so much racism towards Black people. So, Buddha was a prince in India. Of course, he was a person of color. Yes, definitely. No question. But some people are very angry about this. And then when we talk about the African origin of yoga, they really get angry. Just like when we're talking to North African Arabs about the Blackness of ancient Kemet and ancient African Egypt, they get very angry. So all you can do is just keep sharing the truth. And that's what we're doing right now. We are sharing truth and wisdom. We're projecting truth. We're projecting our vision. We're projecting what we want to see onto the world rather than fighting with people who are very ignorant and unrighteous. Because there's no way you're going to, what did somebody say? There's no sense in trying to explain the matrix to the matrix. When somebody said that to me, I was like, wow, you're right. There's no sense trying to explain ancient African Kemetic wisdom to someone who is convinced that, Black people were not the first humans. I've really stopped getting into those conversations. Uja. Right, color does not divide us. We have one race, the human race, and many shades, many variations, many locations as one culture, many locations, many tribes, many villages. There's no reason to be arguing. There's no reason to be greedy. We don't need borders. You can live where you want to live, and you can travel when you want to travel. And when you buy things from people, it helps the economy. I don't understand what all the problems are that we've created for ourselves. This is a little bit off topic, but not totally. I'm heavily into the Naturian traditions right now, but I also feel a close affinity with Yemaya from the Orisha, from the Yoruba tradition. And if you go back far enough, you'll see that even they were once one culture. And they, Uncle, trying to think of, I'm drawing a blank. I'll just say Uncle Oba moved to Nigeria and Uncle Geb stayed in Cairo, and the culture just kept growing. And Auntie went to Ghana, and another auntie or grandmother went to Zimbabwe and Uganda, and the culture, wherever it started, it just kept growing. But I was yesterday years old when I learned about the relationship between Yemaya and Ogun. And I was really thrown by it. I'm not a practicing priestess, so don't quote me on this. I just found a website because I was thinking of getting more in connection with Ogun, with metal, because one of my special person kept getting in car accidents. And when I looked up Ogun, I learned that while their dad was away, he was assaulting their mom every day until Alegba, the younger brother, got up the courage to tell the dad about it. And when dad found out, part of his spirit or soul essence just left his body and he became Obatala. And they quote it as he's a shell of who he was before. And same thing happened to Mama before. I can't remember their names. Yemaya. I think I had it on one of these. What website was it? Was it here? I have so many pages open. I don't see it right now. Well, anyway, and so when the mom was so embarrassed that part of her spirit essence soul left her body and she became Yemaya. So Yemaya and Obatala are like just the shell of who they were initially. Ogun, yes. And I just started thinking about the abuse that's going on in the world today, the sexual assault, and how it's just not dealt with. And I don't remember how I got on this subject. But that's one of I've always been one speaking out against sexual assault and developing programs to help heal because I was assaulted and I used the sound healing to help my healing, bring about my healing. So I'm really going to be focusing on really healing the waters and, just at such a deeper level. And sound is so crucial for that because it can affect the structure of the water molecules. It can affect the vibration and the structure of the water molecules. Dr. Emoto did experiments on water where he took containers of water, and some of them had come from a polluted source, some came from a pure source, some were from a polluted source, and he prayed over them. And then some he attached words to the containers of water like, I love you, you're beautiful. And some he attached, you're ugly, I hate you. And he froze the water and looked at samples under the microscope. And the water molecules that had come from the pure, like a spring, were beautifully aligned, like snowflakes. And even the ones from the toxic water that had been prayed on, blessed over, they were aligned. But the ones with the good messages like I love you, all like perfect snowflakes, perfect alignment. And the ones with the negative messages were like, And so that just really hit me, that story of the abuse of the mother by the child, and the father couldn't handle it. Just life goes on as normal. And that trauma is handed down to us. It's in everything. Oh, I remember what I was going to talk about when you asked about the people of the four directions. If you watch my Spiral Dance medicine wheel, you've seen the medicine wheel chart of the four directions. It has a circle with black, white, red, and yellow quadrants, and each one represents the people of that direction. And the story is that we all came from the center, the first person, the first people, and it like spiraled out and grew into, we have these four basic types of people. And it's not four races, it's just four types of people. The Hopi call the white people the younger brothers and sisters because they were the last to come out of the creation. And I was speaking to one brother yesterday, I asked him about this Yemaya Ogun, and he informed me that, and it's something that I felt all along, we can't blame all our problems on Caucasity or on the white people or the people of the North, because our ancestors or us in past lives, we had already messed up. We had already moved away from nature long before the white man showed up. And that this person told me that the white people, not anything against them or any, prejudice or anything, that they are the symptom of the imbalance that we created. They grew out of the act of Ogun, repeated over and over and over and over and over. And that human life is way older than Western culture will ever admit. I saw a TikTok video yesterday about certain rock formations that look like they're actually giant trees that were cut down, like bigger than redwoods. He was talking, that Devil's Tower, like from Close Encounters of the Third Kind. He says if you look at it closely, you'll see it looks like a giant tree had been cut down and the stump became solidified. If you, I don't know, I don't know how I can. Maybe I'll duet that video. And anyway, I'm way off topic, but these are things that we need to be manifesting at this time, this new moon, using our creativity. Make you some TikToks, write out your intentions. Everything is focused on the upliftment of humanity, our spiritual family. We don't have time for this he said, she said. I want to be a buffer between the nations. We need to follow the examples of African nations. I read that, I thought they had already done this, but they have officially cut out English as the marketing language, and Swahili is now the official language for marketing. I thought it already was, but I guess they just developed it so that it could be, but now. And then I read that Mali, is it Mali? I think it's Mali. I don't know which nation actually, I'm sorry, but they cut out French as the legal language and they're going back to their own language. So those are the type of things that we need to be focusing on, because we want to be projecting our sovereignty, our freedom, our liberation, the redemption of the soul, our spiritual victory. We want to be true of speech, pure of heart, pure of mind, pure of body. That's what we're here to manifest in this transmission. And then I have Anpu here, the opener of the way, who corresponds to a legba, right? You're supposed to open the way before doing anything else. So I haven't always had this tone, but now whenever you see me do one of these sessions, I'm always going to have it because it's important. All right, so I'm going to do one more round. Oh, I see a few more comments. Okay. Ogun, Yoruba, yes. Not Oshun, Ogun. Each iteration of human expansion came with changes in blood from O to A, where we farmed grain. When we farmed grain. We were once nomads. With goats, hominids have evolved in our blood. Well, I like being a nomad. I'm going to start migrating again. However, I'm happy with the vegan lifestyle. Blessings to you, priestess of Kemet. Oh, Dua. Satyogi. Yes, we did. How did we do? How did we fall off? How did we fall off? Well, when I saw those gigantic trees, like, just imagine how pure the air was and how everything might have been. And then I started thinking about Ogun, because he's the one with metal. I think people just started cutting down trees. I don't know. I think people just, like they say, just started thinking they could live without being grateful. In the Kemetic tradition, Sekhmet was sent to earth when the people forgot Ra. They thought they could have a great life without, acknowledging the creator. And Ra's like, nope. But his plan, it didn't go so well for a while. Sekhmet went nuts. I think it's egoism. I think at some point humans became aware of their ego with doubt and fear and allowed that to take over. And that's just where we've been. I think that is the quote unquote fall from grace. They call it the apple tree. They call it what is it? The knowledge of good over evil. But if you look at the tree of life, there was no evil. It was just goodness. And when people started to doubt, that's when we fell. That's what I think. And I think, the fetters of set led to ignorance, jealousy. I'm sure men became jealous of women because women were giving birth. I think at one time, women didn't even need men to become pregnant and give birth. So I think it was just egoism that caused the fall. Whoa, there's a lot of questions here. Um, yes, and then we're supposed to take, if you following the Bible, we're supposed to take care of life on earth, not eat it. I think that came about because people just got tired of just enjoying the Garden of Eden. I don't know. I don't really know. All I know is that we did fall. Cooperation is how detection and violence is short-lived. Cooperation is how defection and violence is short-lived. Yes, cooperation would be nice. But when you think about like a family with brothers and sisters, when they're young, they're always fighting. And maybe we're just now growing up. Maybe it took us this long to grow up. Maybe all this happened so that we would remember Ra on a major scale. Like in the days of Kemet, people, they had their whole society was set up so that you couldn't forget. My blood type, I don't know my blood type. I don't trust Western medicine. I don't go to doctors. I don't go to the hospital. I don't go to the drugstore. I go to get my herbs. I got a cabinet full of herbs, or I fast. I don't know my blood type. What point do I feel like we are at as a people in this time of Ukraine war? Well, if you got to watch my Pluto return transmission, according to the Western astrology system, Pluto returned on February 22nd, and then the Russian strike was on February 24th. If you go by the 13 months Kemetic sidereal astrology system, you know that Pluto goes into Capricorn, sidereal Capricorn, in another 15 years, and then it'll be another 8 years before it returns to where it was when the United States was born. But even though that is the fact, we're in the shadow of this Pluto return. So either we're in the Pluto return, or we're just like 15 or 20 years away from the Pluto return. And the Pluto return is when all of these corrupt systems and structures and nations are going to fall. And the U.S. Pluto return affects the entire planet because everybody's trying to be like the U.S. So whatever happens to the U.S. is going to be like a chain reaction. So when the U.S. was born on 4th of July, 1776, it was born under a deception. Like it had its constitution and it had, we're fighting for freedom and liberation, but the founding fathers were liars and they deceived the country. So during this Pluto return, all the deception, all the corruption, all the ignorance, all the betrayals, all the colonization, all those things are supposed to like self-implode. I mean, that's what a Pluto return represents, the fall of civilization, of corrupt. And so what's supposed to happen is all the intentions that we're putting out at times like this, they're going to solidify because we're connected now. So your intentions are connected with this transmission and it's going out into the universe. And more of us are going to put out our intentions and we're going to network and we're not going to give up. We're not going to back down. We're not going to panic. We're not going to watch all that. We're not going to try to keep up with all that media, which just is triggering. We're going to keep up with our yoga, our meditation, our fasting. I don't know if you got to see my music video, Two Roads. It was my first official music video about my optical teachings. And it was about this very thing. There's two ways to address the type of BS that's going on. And, one is protesting and marching and voting and getting jobs in corporations so we can change it and so we can get elected and get higher elected officials so we can change the system and, get more Black-owned white businesses and, cryptocurrency, do all these things that the white people have developed, right? Knowing full well they really don't want us to succeed. And knowing full well every time we participate in their systems, in their structures, in their institutions, they benefit. So we need to just hunker down and go back to our roots, listen to our ancestors, and find our own way so that when their system falls, our system will be ready to rise. So I feel for the people in Ukraine. It's no worse than things that have happened at other times to Black people, people of color, indigenous people, and the world did not give up. And now they were refusing to let Black people leave Ukraine. Why were students from Africa going to universities in Ukraine in the first place? That's my first why. Why do you need to go there? Ukraine is like this compared to Africa. So, and secondly, they're just fighting each other. And it's not, I used to think that Ukraine was like indigenous people of the North. Well, maybe the people are, but the leaders want to be the West. They want to join NATO. They don't, it's all more of the same. So let them fight themselves. Pluto's return. They're all going to fall and we're going to be strong. We're not going to be dependent on that. We're going to develop our own way. I don't know who's with me on that, but that's what I think we need to do. Coming back to the truth of us, where do I see Joe Biden and as a people got to go from people? Biden is a reptilian. He's either a reptilian or a clone. And he's had so much plastic surgery or Botox or adrenochrome since he became president. He doesn't even look the same. Most of the time when I see him, he looks like he can't even read the teleprompter. But I don't really, it's just like a new game. When you play a game over. This is like from the old days, Pac-Man. Then you put your quarter in, you vote, and it's a new game. It's not, but it doesn't change. It never changes. It doesn't change. It's just a new. It's the same game, but you just put in another quarter. You just put in another election. It's all BS. I mean, if we really want to see change, stop playing their game. We got our own games. We got Ma'at. We got Amenemopet. We got Imhotep. We've even got sacred pyramids and temples all over the world that only the non-melanated people have translated. Like, we need to go into Mexico and speak to an actual Olmec elder. And, we have to go back if we want to go forward. Okay. So we digressed. First it was spirit, then it was moralism, and now it is, it's all the same, just different vibrations, different layers. I mean, we're moving through reality. The Pluto return, the coming of the Christ, which is our rise spiritual. Well, if you're really talking about consciousness and peace, why go to something that has been used as a weapon against the majority of the people on the earth and expect us to feel peace when those words are used? I don't feel peace when people come at me with Christ consciousness or quoting the Old Testament. I don't feel peace because I know what actually happened. I know it went down, and I know why things are the way they are. So I don't vibe with that. To me, Christ is not peace. Like people say, oh, but it's Christ consciousness. Yeah, but where did that work? That come from Krishna. Say Krishna. Say Haru. Like I'm a vegan. I don't want to eat animals. I want to eat what animals eat. So I go straight to the purity, the most pure I can do. And Christ, those type of terminologies are way down in the low frequency. You may have good feelings about it, but when you come into circles like this, you have to realize what that vibration represents. It doesn't represent peace. Okay. All right. Well, got a few more minutes. I mean, I could stop right now, but I was going to go till 12:45, and I was going to stop like 30 minutes ago. So this has been a great discussion. Don't be sorry. No. I'm just speaking the truth. It's just the truth. Like you wouldn't go to a Jewish Holocaust survivors memorial and throw up the Hitler sign. I don't think you would go to a Native American sweat lodge in Lakota land, sovereign land, and say Merry Christmas. I don't think that's a good idea. I don't think you should go to Hawaii where the indigenous people are still living and start talking about, how great America is. You got to have some respect. If you're so adamant about carrying that vibration, then go be with your own people. But we deserve a place where we don't have to have these type of arguments. Like what does it take? I don't, once you've been abused and violated and traumatized and raped and pillaged and assaulted, you can forgive your rapist, but you don't want to like sit down and have dinner with him. So it's just me speaking personally. This person says, Hatep, JC admitted he did not come to bring peace to the world, but a sword. And, in old cultures, the sword was supposed to represent truth, right? You're supposed to be able to cut away the lies and deceptions. But that's not how the sword was used by the followers of JC. It was used to destroy anyone that did not agree or anything that existed before they came up with that religion. So that's a tough one. Yeah, you don't have to, you're not sorry. Sorry means you're weak or whatever. You're just come here to learn, just be open, just give gratitude, just say thank you, or thank you to the Almighty, thank you to the Creator, thank you Ma'at, thank you for truth, thank you for the ancestors for making sure that these wisdom teachings survive so that we can reclaim them. We just don't need to go back into or further down into the lies and deception. We need to get out of it, completely out. And once you're out, you can stand back and look at it and say, oh, I see where we went wrong. I see we did this. Oh, I see we shouldn't do that. But that's my impression, my interpretation. Everyone's free to believe what they want to believe, but when we are in an open circle, we need to have respect. For the people that were slaughtered so that we could be here today in this apartment with, heating and microwave ovens and cell phones. I mean, a lot of people died so we can have these conveniences. And a lot of people died so that religion could dominate the entire planet. If they didn't have that violent streak, they wouldn't have been able to do what they did. That's why I say I don't think they're human. They're reptilian, clones, robots. They just wouldn't do that. All right, I'm going to close out. I'm going to focus on the sun, the moon, Aquarius. That would be Ra. Susheta, Heru, and adding Anpu. This has been a very good dialogue. I'm trying not to get emotional or excited or angry and just try to stay to the teaching because I'm very passionate about these subjects. I had to stop talking about them so much because, I wasn't calm. But I'm a lot calmer now, so it's easier for me to talk about it. So thank you for bringing it up. Don't be sorry. I'm grateful you were here. Because we know all the stuff in the Bible, it came from Kemet. And a lot of it came from the stars. Opening of the way for a new day, universal love and consciousness, respecting the history of every nation. Enlightened nations arise, awakened nations rise, nations of divinity, nations built with spirituality. Write out your intentions, manifest your creation, the world as you'd like to see, a world in which you want to be. We can create with our mind, with our hearts, with our love, with our intentions, with our highest vibration. Removing obstacles to our spiritual success. removing obstacles to our sovereignty, removing obstacles to our liberty. We are children of creation. We are free of their plantation. Our destiny is our manifestation. When we stay true to our liberation. Remove obstacles to success. I am victory of spiritual aspiration. I manifest my intentions. I create a world of love, joy, beauty, and prosperity every day. Good job. Ooh. My legs around. Opening my heart. Yes, I choose this journey. Yes, ma'am. I am not Christian. I am 19. Ooh, 19 is a very good number. It's a very good age to be. Very good age. And you're doing great by asking questions and not getting mad when old people start telling their opinions. Because it's all in love. We're all here to learn and to grow and to share. All right, so I'm going to close out with grounding these wonderful vibrations. And, if you really resonate with it, you can replay it and play it while you're washing your dishes. You can fast forward through all the dialogue if you don't want to hear all that talk. But those are our intentions that we want to manifest at this new moon in light of everything that's going on in the world. We don't want to get caught up in it. We don't want to ignore it. We want to focus on what we want instead of what we don't want. So here we go. You can own with me. I know I can't hear you, but just own at will. Well, thank you so much. My dog is ready to go for her walk. And see a few more comments. 17. Wow, I've got the youth on here with me today. Hey, that's a blessing. You resonate with the sound. This journey chose you. Awesome. Yes, this journey chose me too. All right, so I just posted the calendar of spring events. I don't have it memorized, but I'll be here for the first quarter next week. For the first quarter, we do like a self-care, self-regio tune-up, and then we'll have the full moon transmission. And then that weekend will be very busy. We'll have the full moon transmission on the 18th, then the spiral dance medicine wheel at the lake, where we'll be addressing these very things we've been talking about today about the one race, human race, how it spiraled out. The spiral dance medicine wheel came to me when I was sitting with one of my energy healer teachers. And we had been doing circles for the new moon and full moons. I was telling that's too much for me. It's too much work. It's too much work to announce it and everything. I'll do it for the spiral dance. And she's like, what's that? So those are the equinoxes, solstices, and then the mid-seasons. So we have mid-spring, mid-fall, mid-winter, mid-summer. So I go to the lake, or if it's too cold, I'll do it here at home, or raining, I'll do it at home. And we have the four elements, the four aspects of being. We honor the people of the four directions. I have a chant honoring the four directions, or a spiritual technology of the four directions. And it's about the people of the four directions coming together. This is according to the Hopi teaching, and sharing the teachings, because we all went to these different locations and we have a piece of the wisdom, and it won't be the truth until we all come together. And right now, people are not coming together. Like, I was first, mine is best, you're wrong. We've been here all this time. There's no way that we descend from Black people because our people have always been here. And that's why we're in chaos. That's how we fell when we divided. So on the spiritual spiral dance medicine wheel, I'll be on the 19th. Then on the 20th, it won't be live streamed, but I'll be doing Cosmic Chimes and Chanting at Haji Healing Salon. I'll be there all day doing one-on-one sessions. And then on the 21st, because the spring equinox is one of the points on the spiral dance medicine wheel, it's the 19th, 20th, and 21st. The 21st, I'm so excited. For the first time since before COVID, I will be having a live reggae experience. We can't call it a concert because the venue is small. It's a yoga studio. It's going to be a reggae music experience with my band. And the first set is going to be dub music, and I'm going to be doing comedic chants over dub music, improv dub music. That's going to be wild. And then the second half will be my reggae set. And I've got my old tunes, from Rise Again Truth, Black Turtle Island, and my new tunes. And I got my comedic reggae tunes. So that'll be the 21st. And then I've decided to add for the third quarter moon, I'm going to keep revisiting this Pluto return, because it's going to be with us for 248 years, right? So we might as well, make the most of it. So I posted the schedule, and I will post an announcement when it's time for the next transmission. And I will be going live with another pendulum reading very soon. Oh, Mama is here. Just when I'm tuning off. But I'm so glad you were here. And if you want to, you can watch the replay. I always post clips of the highlights. Sometimes I post me running my mouth. Sometimes it's just the chimes. And let's see, if you'd like more information on Kimatone's Cosmic Sound Healing or Horoscope's 13-month Comedic Sidereal Astrology System, go to lightbeamwellness.com. You can also find my wellness products, Tea Chia Medicinal Salves. You can also find those at my Etsy page. And if you're interested in the 40-day prosperity plan or any other abundance tools, you can go to openyourmoneyflow.com. And I have the regular site there. I did offer a coaching program to go along with the 40-day prosperity plan, which was really effective. I have not done it since because I'm not a fan of marketing. But if you're really interested, just hit me up. We can work something out. And then you will be granted access to the VIP section of the website, which includes spiritual technologies from India and Kivit. Because, India has Lakshmi, who's all about abundance, and Muruga, about removing obstacles. And then I have different meditations and videos. And then I also created the 40-day prosperity plan is 10 affirmations, recite twice a day for 40 days. So you go through the 10 affirmations 4 times. And the traditional Kemetic calendar consists of 10-day strengths. I don't say weeks, 10-day strengths. So the 40-day prosperity plan is in alignment with that. The Earth Center also has a 10-day strength calendar. So go to openyourmoneyflow.com. If you'd like more information on the wisdom teachings of Chatal Neter, which is where I learned about the qualities of the Neteru, go to egyptianyoga.com. Please stay tuned. I am working on the Chemitones Haduscopes manual so that we can start teaching the Chemitones sound healing classes and the Akusaneb yoga movement experience system. Talk about creativity. So that's coming up. I don't know when, but I'm working on it right now. And if you're resonating with this wisdom or the Chimes sound healing chanting, you can always leave a donation to us, Matashi Temple of Divine Light Healing and Sweet Sounds, at $Amet El Ma'at. And you'll find that link in my bio on TikTok. And let's see what else. If you're interested in getting your own astrology reading, you can reach out to me at lightbeingwellness.com, and you can sign up. If you're in the Chicago area and you want to get a sound healing session, just reach out to me. If you're not in the Chicago area and you want a sound healing session, if you're willing to pay my travel expenses and lodging, or if you have an extra guest room plus my fee, I will be more than happy to pay a house call. And I think that's all for now. Check the calendar. I'm going to be posting after this broadcast of Ancient African Adorations. The next Ancient African Adoration session is Saturday, March 5th. And the last thing I'm going to say is today would have been my dad's birthday. And he would have been 89 years old. I sure miss my dad. He went way too soon for me. Just too soon. Anyway, that's it for today. Thank you for joining Light Being Wellness Center, Matashi Temple, Divine Light Healing and Sweet Sounds, Chemitones Cosmic Sound Healing, Haduscope's 13-month Kemetic Astrology System, Sidereal Astrology System. My name is Arit Neter S. Medi Ma'ati, also known as Tachia Amet El Ma'at. If you know me from reggae, you know me as Tachia Amet. And I will be back with reggae concerts. The plan is, this is the first one for the equinox, right? We're going to do them every month. I don't know if it's going to work out every month. At first, it might be every season change, but the goal is every month, one a month. It will be live in person for 20 people or so, and then it will be streamed. And I will be asking a fee, suggested donation. It's going to be great. I'm really excited. Okay. Thanks for tuning in and staying to the end. And I'll see you again soon. Thank you so much for your comments and questions. Yes, my daddy was amazing. Maybe I'll do a special on him. Attempt.